made this had to be on bath salts. There's no way they were sober. Welcome to the 2008 Mercedes-Benz CLK63 Black. One of the craziest, most thrilling Mercedes-Benzes ever. Nowadays, when we think Black Series, we think of these hardcore, super track-focused monsters with insane downforce. This is nothing like that. I mean, yes, it does have widened fender flares, no back seats. It's not focused on lap times. It's focused on being as diabolical as possible while giving people irreversible, permanent tinnitus. Just 500 Black Series were built for the entire world. This one finished in Arctic White, one of the more rare colors. Most common are silver black. 507 horsepower from a 6.3 liter naturally aspirated V8. And let me get to the back. As you can see, they took the CLK, gave it some plastic surgery, a BBL, you could say. It is a big rear end. But you sort of get the feeling that Mercedes built this strictly for fun. But with that said, let's go for a drive. Now, one thing I guess I forgot to brief was this car is catless with long tube headers. And so it sounds like that. Oh, that is a very lively back end. Cars are notoriously tail happy. So 507 brake horsepower from a 6.3 liter naturally aspirated V8. Enormous engine. You know, this was the time of Mercedes when they just didn't really care. They kind of were just like, just make some, they would just put anything out and say, have fun with it. Nowadays, it's a bit different. Now they're very track focused, beating lap records. This came from a time period, right? The best era of supercars, or just cars in general, as I always say, like the mid 2000s. Cars were just different. They had a lot more personality back then. Much better exhaust notes. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds. Top speed is 186. This is a 7-speed automatic transmission. Obviously, it is a pretty dated transmission at this point. Although the upshifts when under throttle are not as slow as I thought they'd be. They're actually relatively responsive. It's the downshifts that are a bit disappointing. It is just very... like there's no throttle blipping at all. It is a bit stiff. I wonder how it is beneath the underpass. That was the most absurd thing I've ever heard. I love how heavy the steering is. It feels... Turn-in is sharp. The steering is just... It does lighten up at speed, but it's fantastic. I like the steering wheel more than I thought I would. At first I was like, that's an odd shape, but it works. And the great thing is, it's just a normal CLK inside. I mean, yes, it is a bit dated, obviously. It's a very familiar, intuitive place to spend time. It is just a Mercedes. Except it isn't. That was 3,500 RPM. This thing revs to 7.5. You kind of just got to roll into the throttle because otherwise you will die. It's got carbon brakes. Compared to this, the original CLK looks laughable. Just lame. It's crazy what those fenders do. Whoever made this had to be on bath salts. There's no way they were sober. This car has zero manners. It is just a constant racket. I would rather have this over a Porsche. I just would. I mean, so much more exciting, thrilling. A Porsche is a better car, much more delicate, well-engineered car, but this is just, it's just different. Again, only 500 in the world, so you pull up to a car meet, pretty much guaranteed this will be the only one there. A couple of weird little quirks in here, I suppose, like the drive selector is very tiny. It looks like it's nestled in between a whale's mouth. And what's funny is, besides the flared arches and the couple of tiny Black Series badges, this car is pretty understated. Like, the average person will just say, that's an old white Mercedes. And they have absolutely no idea. I sent a picture to my girlfriend the other day, and she's just like, just looks like a white Mercedes to me. A massive carbon fiber rear diffuser looks incredible. It just doesn't really make it that apparent that what you're driving is a bomb. If someone asks, what does God sound like? Oh, this was one of Jeremy Clarkson's favorite cars of all time. He did own one, and his review on this car was one of the best Top Gear reviews of all time, in my opinion.
On anything other than dry roads, it is extremely lively. Quite tail happy, even under partial throttle. The traction control must stay on. Sounds dangerous.
I've just always been so curious after watching that video how this feels. And prices on these cars, this car was like $120,000 when it was new, and almost 20 years later, it's still 120 grand. This car's got 49,000 miles on it. You get these cars in a handful of colors, mostly silver or black. White is somewhat rare, and the rarest is red, although they did make one, I believe, factory OEM matte silver. God knows how much that car's worth. I do think it looks excellent in white, but at speed it feels solid. Like, it just feels very well made. Not a ton of vibrations. Like, we're doing 60 right now. It feels like we're doing about 30. I could be completely sideways in this car, and then I have this seat which feels like a bear giving me a warm embrace from behind, telling me everything will be okay. And then you die. They really don't make cars like this anymore. They just don't. Everything now is very muted. Again, it just feels like Mercedes made this for shits and giggles. Like, there was no motive other than just having a crazy fun time. It's so nice to be in a car that just celebrates and embraces having a good time. Like, it's not that serious. I think if you were to go buy one of these right now, you would not regret it. Although I will say the stock cars, they do sound really good, obviously. They're a little quiet, I think. This is what you need to roll into it. You know, it's not that quick by today's standards. Oh, it sounds like a machine gun. Now, there is a cop hiding right over there. Only gonna assume maybe he got some calls about a loud German muscle car doing laps over and over again, flooring it, giving people tinnitus. But I just drove by him, and he didn't even look at me. And this kind of goes back to, this car is sort of under the radar. It does feel like a muscle car. Like, you can feel the engine just kind of shaking the car around. But do I care that this car is not that fast by today's standards? No. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, and I will see you guys in the next one.